man, the fall colors are out. All up behind me. Holy cow, it's beautiful out. But I'm following a road up to 2 more mine sites. It's supposed to be right off the road, right up this hillside, and then the other one's further up the road, and that one, if there's a gate, I might have to hike into that one. But there's a big turnaround here, and you can tell people recently have been using it for camping. But if it's right across the road from where the mine was up the hill, obviously then it would be a processing or a staging area. So up behind me here, so pretty. All right, I'm not gonna take my pack or anything because it literally looks like it's less than 50 yards above the road. So let's go over there and see what we can find. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This obviously tapered off and it might have just been a staging area. You can tell there's new growth further up, but then there's bigger trees way up there, and it's that same style of foundation. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's where the pulley was for like a hoist. It looks really loose. I'm not going to go back in there, but behind the tree and up behind me, it looks like there's more of the hillside that's been taken out. It could have been from all this reworkings, old metal, but there's a bunch of all this dead brush that they've tore out and stuff. But holy cow. Well, you can tell where it used to be. Man, all the hard rock that it was right into. Some of these areas that I go and check this stuff out, it's all considered hard rock mining. But man, some of the areas, I don't obviously know much. I'm not a miner and I'm definitely no geologist. But man, some of the stuff seems like so shale. Don't have a flashlight with me. Yeah, that's pretty intense. I'm guessing they put in the culvert for water flow, but you could tell that there would have been a portal right in this area. All right, we're back to the truck. On to the next one. All right, well, the one I need is right down that, I believe, but pretty cool to see the logging operation. Smells like Christmas trees. But it's so intense to, if you've never seen a logging operation or been in any of the areas where there's logging, it's not going to do it justice being on the camera. But there's this small peak above me, and there's basically 2 ways up that they go up to cut them. These guys they do not mess around when they try to get to some of these areas. I've had to put tire chains on before, but nothing like this. That's got to be a 6-foot tire. I'm gonna grab my pack, water bottle, and start heading out. This makes a lot more sense. As I was driving down this road on the map, it shows it is gated, but they clearly obviously have recently bulldozed it. It's nice in the sunshine, but the map shows that the site is slightly down in the draw. So I'm guessing it's going to be some bushwhacking in the shady side. I guess that's one nice thing about having a plain Jane truck. It actually kind of looks like it fits in. Down this one and then down the hillside. Look at all that fresh cut timber behind me there. I'm probably one of the few people that actually like and kind of wish I could get a hold of one of the Forest Service rigs. I'm sure everybody's seen them before, well, at least out here in the West. They're kind of that off-color green, almost like a mint green or something. A lot of people don't like them because they do and can have high mileage. You can get them for cheap, but they're similar to my truck where it might have AC, some of them, but it has a AC, rubber floor mats, manual windows, just shy of the absolute bare bones. What's crazy is even before they started the current logging here, it shows that there was a road, an even older cutout that I'm walking, that ended. And I just want to make sure that it doesn't switch back into an old cutout that goes down to that side. This is, believe it or not, you might be able to see it, this is an old cutout, but it is following the hillside. And we are going down in elevation. If this switchback's back below me, we'll be, I think, right where we need to be. I think it kind of peters out there. This is how a lot of the old cutouts used to be. They would go to their certain boundary and then stop cutting from there. So back to the current logging section. See the drop off in this spot, but work my way back to where above that site and see what we can find. So the one I just went was that way, truck and all the equipment's back that way, and then just down the hillside here is roughly the area. So I'm gonna get my gloves on, I'm gonna put the camera away while I'm going down, and I'll bring you back when I get close to it. Just going down the hillside, taking it easy. Another good example, prime example of why to wear a pair of gloves, but right below me, I still have a ways to go to the site, but right below me, it looks like a really old, narrow cutout. You can see the loggers have been down here though, because there's a couple of ribbons here and there. But this one goes pretty far down to go behind me, behind the camera here, this way. Just the awesome view of the canyon. Actually, that far hillside was the road I came in on. It says I'm on it. I don't know if it'll pick up in the shade. It's got a ton of waste rock all around. It's honestly just kind of more of like a divot area, and that's how some of these were. They might have had something at one point, but over time they've filled in, or people have collapsed them. But I mean, it's just on a steep hillside. Something obviously brought them here, because it kind of is flat right in here, and then it goes out just a ways and then drops off the hillside. It's kind of like the one from my last video. Sometimes you find them, and sometimes they're just old remnants or surface digging. So taking a breather. Whew. That was some bushwhagging to get back up to the logging cutout. But I did notice the ribbons as I was going down. They look like they eventually did stop, and they had one of those geological survey metal stakes in the ground. I thought maybe they'd be kind of going to where the site was, but they had stopped prior to that. That's what some of these sites are that I find, and you've probably seen in the past video or two, or in past videos. Sometimes they're a full on operation, like the one I hiked into with foundations and buildings and all that stuff, and the other ones are like this one right down off this logging cutout that somebody or a group of people maybe went in on it together. But ones like that really make me wonder, man, you'd have to really be wanting to go after it, because that's some rough country. And granted, this has been widened for the logging, but I bet you at some point there used to be an old little cutout, a little trail that they made to get down to it. It's kind of surreal how there's not any sound or movement right now, but if you came back during the week, these machines would be roaring. Alright guys, I'm getting back on the highway, heading back to town. Thank you so much for following along. Like and subscribe, comment down below if you like what you see. And until next time, we'll see you guys on the next one. Forget the camera. Man, this stuff's like moon dust where the dozers have gone.